Hey guys, Tracy Farron here. I have no idea what is going on with my connection. I've tried going live like 3 times and it gets the intro and then it cuts out and I have to go back and delete. Anyway, so now I'm just recording and I will just upload this to my page. So lately, ever since I really felt inspired and it was impressed upon me that I need to read my story, I've been feeling a little bit like just exhausted and drained, like physically and emotionally and mentally. And yesterday was a really bad day for me, like emotionally, and I couldn't figure it out. And so I turned to someone that I really trust in her opinion and her advice, and she's full of wisdom. And we were talking and I was explaining this to her. I'm like, I'm just exhausted. I am tired. Ever since I started my story and stuff. And she's like, Tracy, it makes complete sense. Like, you are going to your past and it's like you're reliving it. You know, the energy that was there with you being sick and tired and exhausted and physically, mentally, emotionally. She's like, it makes complete sense why you are feeling this way. And when I thought about it, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. Like, it explains why I've been feeling this way. And she gave me this really good idea. So I'm going to share it with you guys. And if it sounds a little weird, I wouldn't classify it as that until you've tried it. And if you really need this to work in your life, then don't put your nose up to it and actually try it. And this is what I'm going to try. So she's like, when I'm feeling that way, I just try to put that energy into like a color and then a shape. And you put that, negative energy or feeling exhausted or whatever into that color and the shape. And I'm religious, you guys know that. And you just give it over to God. And then in return, He gives you it back white. White means clean, right? And then just ask Him, what was I to learn from that? What positive experience lesson was I to learn from that? Because guys, here's the thing. We all go through crap. So stop playing the victim and quit thinking that your life is just hard and everyone else is easy, because that's not the case. Here's the difference. The difference is how we perceive it, our perception, our perspective on it. And it's, do we choose to roll up in a ball and play victim? Or do we choose to say, okay, things are hard right now, but I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to grow from it. To me, that's the wiser choice to go with than to roll up in a ball and play victim and say, I can't cope, I can't do this, somebody help me, oh my gosh, I'm just a lost cause. That is retarded, guys. We all experience crap. Nobody is, exempt from it. We are all going to go through hard trials, but what do we do with it? That's what counts. What do we do with those trials and those struggles? Do we grow from them? Or do we roll up in a ball, sucking our thumb, crying, calling victim? I would rather grow from them and then turn around and help others who are going through the same thing and give them words of encouragement and advice, which is what my friend did with me. She's been where I'm at, having to relive her past and still dealing with stuff. So I wanted to throw that out there to you guys, actually. I wasn't planning on going there, but it went there. So take it or leave it. But if you are, needing to get rid of some old baggage, give it away, That's what the atonement's about. That's what, God wants to do for all of us. So it's interesting because, I was telling her, I'm like, but I've dealt with this before. Like, I don't understand. Like, I can tell people, yeah, I had cancer. Yeah, I was pregnant when I had cancer. Yeah, my husband left me when I was sick. Like, I can talk about that and not be exhausted from it. And I said, I was confused because I'm like, but I've dealt with it. I thought I dealt with it. And she's like, Tracy, you're just dealing with it on a deeper level now. And you are just ready to release it and get rid of it, like, once and for all. And I know that's true because even though I can talk about it, yeah, I'm a cancer survivor, and yeah, I was pregnant, and yeah, my husband left me when I was sick. Like, I can talk about that stuff and be okay. But what I realized I couldn't do was talk about the details of it, because there are some crazy details of it. And that's the stuff that I'm having to relive as I'm reading through this story and stuff. So, I think sometimes we all think that maybe we've dealt with things from our past, whether it's abuse, whether it's I don't even want to get into it, whatever it is from our past. But sometimes we haven't, and sometimes we just need to on a deeper level so that we can move forward and release that. And I know she's totally right, because it actually, you know, I kind of think that if we can't talk about our past mistakes and stuff and own it at 100%, then we probably haven't gotten over it. And there are some things in my story that I struggle with owning, that I struggle with the person that I was. And when I was telling her this, she's like, Tracy, that's not who you are. Because I was telling her, I was like, that doesn't feel like me. Like, I'm ashamed that those are some of the things that I did, or those are some of my choices, or those were some of the experiences that I went through. And she's like, you shouldn't be, because that's not who you are. It's an experience that you had, whether it's by my own choices or not, which I don't think cancer was by my own choices, at least the kind that I had. And it was an experience I had, but I still did make choices that added on to that experience for whatever reason. And it's not always easy to talk about, and that's okay. So I kind of feel like this is a little bit selfish of me, because I really felt very, very strongly impressed to do this. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. You know, I really think this is going to help a lot of people. That would be great, because I've always tried to use my experience to help other people. And in what way? I don't know. I think it affects everyone differently. And then here recently, I've actually kind of felt like, well, this is going to help you. And as I have been going through and feeling the emotions I've been feeling lately, I have had that whispered to me a few times, that me reading this and going through this, yes, I believe it's going to help others, but I really think it's going to help me to pull the crap up and to deal with it and to move on, and honestly to own it and to work through it, and like it or not, this is who I am. At least these are experiences that I've had, and I'm grateful for them, because it's allowed me to be who I am today. It's allowed me to be compassionate and loving and understanding of other people, and not be so quick to judge others for mistakes of their past or whatever. So I do believe that the experiences that we have can be turned into good. And actually this video is going long, so I'm going to end this and make it a separate video and then read my story. But just get out there, guys. Just deal with it. Let's not be a victim. Let's not roll up in a ball, sucking our thumb, crying victim, and bawling like a big baby, when we can just take it and own it and face it and work through it and deal with it. That's the way I would rather do it. Anyway, so those are just some thoughts that I wanted to share. I didn't know that this video was going to go that route, but it did, and I'm so glad that I shared it with you guys. I kind of feel like, you know, I really am a straight shooter and pretty blunt, and I've been holding back a little bit, worried that I'm going to offend people. But you know what? The people that are offended, you choose to be offended, first of all. That's your feelings. You own that. And second of all, the people that's meant to help will get something from it. And even if my videos just help one person, I'm good with it. And if it offends 10, guess what? Those 10 chose to be offended. So get ready, because I will start to be a little bit more bold, a little bit more blunt with my thoughts and my feelings, because I do have a lot, but I hold back from them, even though I feel them burning so deeply, or I feel like that's God talking to me saying, you need to share this. I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I share that? Like, that's people are gonna be offended, because it's so much easier to blame other people in life. It's so much easier to point the finger. It's so much easier to go through life crying victim, pointing the finger and blaming people, instead of taking responsibility for our own crap. Well, guess what? I am so over that business. And my videos and my postings might be a little bit more out there and in your face. And if you can't handle that, hey, remove me as your friend or block me. I don't really care. Because the people that matter are the ones that will take it the way it needs to be taken, and are the ones that I need to reach. The people that really need it will reach, and it will only do that by me being me and me being real and owning everything. So you guys have an amazing day, and I can't wait to continue on this journey with you guys. And just know that as I read my story, I really do want it to be uplifting and inspiring. That's the takeaway, and to help others. I don't want it to be this exhausting, draining thing. So I really am going to try hard as I read to, you know, being so many years later, put my own twist and perspective and things that I've learned from it, with it being such a hard trial in my life. So you guys have an amazing day, and I will chat soon.